Let's go to issues now plaguing the electric vehicle rollout. I mean, I'm not a fan of EVs. I mean, anyone who's listened to me knows that. The Australian Automobile Association, they've been conducting real-world testing on EVs, and none of the 9 EVs that they tested managed to actually reach the advertised range on a single charge. The MG4, 31% variation. I mean, that's crazy. Tesla was a lot better. Someone who knows much more about this than me, Paul Gover, senior journalist with Wheels Magazine. He's been an expert on all of this stuff with EVs for a long time. Why would there be such a big difference, Paul, welcome, between a lab and a real-world test?
Well, apart from anything else, Steve, the people who drive the cars in the lab are trained to drive the cars in the lab. So they pick the people who get the best possible results. You don't go in there and just let Freddie from down the street have a go. So they're trying to optimise their results. The other thing is real world conditions are vastly different. And one of the things that happens with electric vehicles, it happens with all vehicles. Combustion cars also don't hit. In a lot of cases, they don't hit their target. But if you go and drive an electric car on a hot day in Australia and you've got the air conditioning on, bang, down it goes. If you're driving at night with the headlights and the wipers on and the air conditioning going, bang, down it goes. I guess the good thing about any of these claimed, because that's what they are, they're claims, they're not proven fact, is that they're at least compatible between vehicles because they're all done to the same test. But it is worrying in this case. The real worry, though, Steve, is what happens when you run out of charge in your electric car.
Well, the thing about it's a major selling point. I mean, you and I think, are vaguely on the same page about whether we'd buy an electric vehicle. I live outside of a capital city, around about 120, 110 kilometres. So if I went into a showroom to buy an electric vehicle, I would want to say to the salesperson, can I get to my place out of town and back on one charge? And if they're quoting incorrect EV distance claims, then they're telling me an untruth. They're selling me something I'm not buying.
But they'll blame you because you didn't drive it well. See, one of the things about electric cars, Steve, is they're the complete reverse of a combustion car. Most combustion cars are at their most efficient on a highway. Staying at a particular cruising speed, that's when they're the best. Electric cars are actually best around town because they have a thing called regenerative braking. When you take your foot off the accelerator, the energy, instead of being captured by normal brakes, is captured by generators which recharge the battery. Now, a friend of mine, Roland, he's got a sporty electric car. He says he gets the best economy when he drives it in full sport mode because it gives him the best regenerative braking. So there are all sorts of things that are counterintuitive that we're all having to learn. And the thing that I come back to all the time, Steve, is, you live 120 k's away, and what if you forget to recharge the thing? If you have to stop, you can't just get another 5 litres from a local servo, or if the car is going down rapidly on charging, if you're driving home at night or something, you can't just truck into a servo. That's where the real problem comes with these things. That's why people need to be aware of what the actual range of their vehicle is.
On your observation, just finally, is the charging infrastructure getting better?
No. Straight, honest answer, no. Because the thing about it is it's not keeping pace. Now, electric vehicle sales this year, last month, were up by 9.1%. Now, that's a pretty miserable increase when they reckon that we're all going to be driving electric cars inside 5 years. But the problem is, the more electric cars you get, and I've seen this, there's a charger that I use when I'm road testing cars near my house. I've been down there a couple of times in the past month, and I've had to either drive away or wait for an hour for somebody else to charge their vehicle. So the government is talking about wonderful rollouts, state, federal, local are all talking about street side charging, but it's not working out in the sort of range that you're going to need. And even if there are putting some charges in, my experience is that they're not keeping pace with the number of cars that are out there and in fact falling behind.
Great point, Paul. Thank you. Always a pleasure to catch up with you.